You know, it's funny how our elites keep finding new ways to disappoint and disgust me, but this one is a new level, at least in a specific way. So I'm just going to say up front, full disclosure, I don't really understand the mechanics of any of this. I've looked at this periodically over the years and tried to figure out what shorting and all this stuff is really confuses me. And personally, just my hot first take on it is a lot of it probably shouldn't be legal, but that's not here nor there. So I just wanted to talk about this one because this is, I think this shows, and I like to point these out, how much these people despise you, how much the people who rule our countries personally hate you. It's not just like a money making thing, it's not just a elitist thing, we're better than you thing. It's they have a deep personal hatred for you, and they view you as being subhuman. So let's just go into detail about this. The Nasdaq has paused trading. By the way, hat tip Russia today. The Nasdaq has paused trading after internet degenerates spotted Wall Street gearing up to make a killing, beat the traders at their own game, and got filthy rich while destroying the US's top hedge funds. Buckle up. So I don't know the exact, once again, but basically, from my understanding, there was some shenanigans going on with some of the hedge funds, and they were going to short GameStop or something like that. And there's a Reddit subreddit called Wall Street Bets or something. And on the subreddit, they're like, hey, why don't we buy this and take advantage of the fact that these assholes are going to do this? So then they went out and bought stuff, and then they made a bunch of money. I think because I think they were betting for the stock price to go down, and they bought it, and then it massively went up, and so they made a ton of money, and they screwed over the hedge funds. And now they're saying, well, you guys can't do that. That's not fair. It's not fair to publicly discuss what stocks you want to buy. It's like, is that, I guess that's capitalism. I guess you're not legally allowed on a public forum to discuss what stocks you're buying. But it's legal for these pieces of shit to go on TV and be hucksters and write their books and say, "Oh, you should buy this stock, you should buy that stock." That's legal. But if you're not one of them and you want to go talk about it, not only are you not allowed to talk about it, you're not allowed to buy it. And listen to this piece of shit. We are actively monitoring social media chatter and will halt stock if we match chatter with unusual activity in stocks. I mean, you're just not allowed to do that. That's not how. Okay, these people are just stupid. They don't understand, these degenerates, how the stock market works. So you have like a movie studio that announces that Avatar 2 is finally going to come out, sequel to, I don't know if it's still the top grossing movie of all time, but one of the top 5 grossing movies of all time. It's finally coming out. They set a release date, and people like, "Oh, this means the studio will probably make money." And then people go out and buy shares in that. That is illegal, that is immoral, and that is retarded. You shouldn't buy shares in something in response to events. I guess you should just randomly buy them. In fact, why do we even allow the average person to buy stocks in general? Speaking to CNBC, Friedman demanded regulators intervene to stop the manipulation that sees that's seen amateur investors completely leave one of America's top hedge funds, Melvin Capital. Meme magic is real, by the way, teetering on the edge of bankruptcy. As trading opened, Friedman kept her word, and the buying and selling of GameStop stock was halted intermittently throughout the morning in a bid to stave off the manipulation she warned about. But what about it? What was it about one feeling? Okay, so let's see here. I'm just gonna scroll through this. 2 million members of Reddit's Wall Street Bets community took an interest in GameStop back in August when they noticed the arrival of the pet supply e-tailer. Sorry, I'm bad at reading things out loud. Chewy's co-founder Ryan Cohen to the board, signaling that there was some life in the company yet. When they noticed that Melvin Capital and Citron had bought the stock short, they decided to start buying, pumping up its value, partially to make a buck and partially to punish the hedge funds for profiting off the dead spiral of a store ingrained in their childhood memories. See, that is manipulation. Buying a stock based on things that are happening with the company or on the stock market, I mean, you can't do that. They should just, I don't know if they want you to randomly pick stocks or they think that like the average person shouldn't be allowed to. Um, as hedge fund managers whined and raged on television and Twitter, the Wall Street bets community dug in their heels and continued to buy. Both funds took a beating, but the fund still needed a bailout of nearly $3 billion to cover its losses. Citron Andrews left said on Wednesday that he had managed to close his position at a loss of 100%. Let's see here. Also, for those who don't know why they're flipping out, a busted short has, to quote Investopedia, who phrases it nicely, an infinite potential for loss because the higher the price, the more money you lose, and you owe people shares, not money. So it's, I mean, and look at this guy, like Jacob Frankel. Be magic is real. The SEC might shut down Reddit. Yeah, because you're not a like. It's just, these people fucking hate you so much. They want you to not even be allowed to buy stuff. With short sellers down $6 billion as of Tuesday, the self-described degenerates on Wall Street bots posted screenshots of their ballooning bank balances, reveling in their newfound wealth as Wall Street suffered. One poster reportedly turned $55,000 into $13 million, while another posted a screenshot of his $64,000 gain. I can now write my mom a check and put my sister through Lyme treatment. This is going to be a rough year, so I'm thankful for every single one of you. Life-changing money is turning into destiny-changing money. I mean, once again, like, these people are shit. These are like the same people who didn't like it when we made a movie promoting pedophilia. They didn't like it when, oh, I'm not allowed to talk about that. Okay, they aren't allowed to like it when things happen during elections, but this is okay. The Titans on Wall Street called this unnatural, insane, and dangerous, and there should be legal and regulatory repercussions. Calls for punishment and Friedman's fretting over manipulation. The amateur investors of Wall Street bets aren't actually breaking the law. Their forum posts are considered free speech under the First Amendment rather than an illegal attempt to dupe investors. How can it be an illegal attempt if they're posting on a public forum? Let's see here. People finally realized that Pitchfork wasn't working, used dollars to fuck over Wall Street. Let's see here. Let's go to this, because this is, let's go to Twitter for a second. So investing.com posts this. Let's see here what they say. Yes, if rich people talk about a stock and the price goes up, it's fine. But if the poor people start talking about a stock and the price goes up, well, we can't have poor people getting rich now here. So let's see what this asshole is saying, and let's see what the responses are. Okay, it's not talking about a stock. It's a conceited group effort to squeeze hedge funds out of their shorts, forcing liquidation to cover the margin calls and potentially wrecking the investments of their clients. And how is this different? That's a market mechanic. They didn't invent it. They do it for their client success. Let's see what people say in response to that. Buying stocks is also a market mechanic. Hedge funds use massive shorts to bully others into losing money, but ordinary people aren't allowed to do the opposite. It's also a market mechanic to see 140% float and buy shares and hold them expecting the squeeze. Dying company. So this is like what this asshole's saying. He's like, it's okay. Like, so like I don't really get. So is the argument here that these people aren't allowed to buy stocks? And buying a lot of stock isn't a market mechanic. It's not a marketing mechanic when people talk at first. Beside the 24/7 biz channels and a million websites and Wall Street Journal, etc. That's definitely okay to talk about it first. Let's see here. Let's see here. So people are. You haven't been paying attention to the comments. Um. The only thing they'll teach them are stricter regulations for retail investors. Well done, fuckers. Yeah, because we're going to blame the people who, yeah, so let's just go through this. Because this is amazing. For the poor, poor hedge funds. Ever think about their clients? Yeah, no, I didn't think so. So, I guess this guy's saying because some other people might lose money on the stock market, you shouldn't legally allowed to buy and sell stocks. Like, this is a new low even for them. So large, okay, you're not allowed to. What's more manipulative? Millions of people talking about something publicly and making a decision, or controlling what decisions people can make because it isn't what you want them to do. The problem is that companies are traded on these exchanges don't want their share prices manipulated like this. Well, then why do they put it up? Like, I don't. Why am I supposed to feel bad for these people? Um, let's see here. What happened to free markets? No, there's no free markets. Um, our taxes shouldn't be used for bailouts. It's true. How deal like so by this logic, like let's say you're in a community and you need you're trying to start a community business. I don't know, you're trying to start a store or a factory or something, and you go to people in your community and you go, look, could you invest in this? I'll give you this number of stocks. According to this logic, you aren't allowed to invest in startups, I guess. Um, Gotta love America. Let's see here. Seeing here. How is this even? It's just people buying. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just retarded. Maybe I don't get it. Um, Let me just scroll through this a bit. What's this person say? So that is so controversial they had to hide that behind it. It's only a free market as long as the right people get to manipulate it. Let's see here. Let's see here. We can't talk about stock markets now. Now hedge funds are censoring free flow of information and capital. That's a joke. I don't even get how it's a steal. It's literally just them buying and selling stuff in a legal fashion. I don't know. Anyways, guys, daily reminder, these people fucking despise you. They hate you. They don't want to let you engage in legal business practices. So I'll talk to you guys later.